Then the same ulama quote the Quran by saying that jinn is made out of fire. And they insist this is made out of fire. But when this jinn enters a man or a poor woman, why does it burn it out? What sort of fire that is? It doesn't burn. A woman, delicate woman is captured, her clothes remain exactly the same, her body remains the same, the fire is in her and it does not burn. What sort of fire that is? Then in the Holy Quran it is said, the same jinn who were shackled, in chains, heavy chains, they also dived into the water and took pearls from underneath, brought them out for the sake of the kings, the prophets of God, for whom they had been made, to serve the cause. Now these jinns, according to the Quran, would delve into the water, go deep, and take out the pearls. What sort of fire that was? It didn't quench, not quench by water. So a fire which does not burn, a fire which is not quenched, what sort of fire that is? So if they quote the Quran, they should try to understand the Quran as well. Those jinns were real human beings, a rebellious people who could do heavy works. And they toiled and toiled to do works. And that is why the industry at the time of Hadhrat Dawood and Hadhrat Sulaiman prospered so much. And when the reign of after the death of Hadhrat Sulaiman, an incapable son sat on the throne, and these people got the wind of it, that there is no more a powerful king like Solomon. They started rebelling. They broke away the shackles, and then they started breaking the empire by capturing small portions here and there. Right? Yet, none of them, when free, captured anyone else. Not a single human being. So the Quran doesn't know these things, and the ulama know. Strange thing, isn't it? Now, I just suggested that if they really believe in what they attribute to the Quran, if they are honest, then they should demonstrate it. They say we have turned the jinn out. Okay, we haven't seen it. But when they turn the jinn into their servant, then they should invite us to see that. See? Here something becomes demonstrable. If they can't make industry like Hadhrat Dawood and Hadhrat Sulaiman, built industries out of the jinn, I don't demand, all right, don't build industries. Just for small things, for cooking your bread, for handing over things, for polishing your shoes, for sewing your clothes, when you throw a jinn out of some poor woman, capture him and put him in your house to work. When it begins to produce that work, then we'll see works happening. Then we'll have to believe. But until that, don't make a false claim, please. Now, they also refer to Surah Jinn, or Surah Al-Jinn in the Quran. And they say it is written there that a delegation from among the jinn came to visit Hadhrat Muhammad Rasulullah. Why do you say there is no jinn? We don't say there is no jinn. We say jinn is not what you think it is. It is different. And from the Quran we prove that it is different from what you think. Jinn, of course there is. The Holy Quran is full of mention of jinns. But we'll believe only in that jinn which the Holy Quran describes, not that jinn which you describe. So, let's see what happened. When the delegation from among the jinn came, they encamped outside Medina, a kilometer or two outside Medina. And Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah went to meet him privately without taking anybody along with him. Huh? Except one person. Except one person. Thank you for correction, yes. And he visited and talked with them. And no hadith mentions that he recited any verse of the Quran to charm them. They were free, they discussed things, and they were convinced that Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah was true prophet of God. Then they affirmed this, they confirmed and professed the faith of Islam by declaring that Muhammad Rasulullah is right and La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. Then they went back. Now there are two things which happened. When they went back, next morning when Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah told the people what had happened, people went to see the place where it had happened. And they report that there were signs of fires are being built, as if human beings had come and stayed there.
Ashes.
Ashes. Signs of fire having built, ashes and stones and things, and wood burnt in that fire, like a delegation of human beings had come. Jinns are out of fire. Why should they build fire? What do you mean by jinns building fire? And they were again human jinns, because when they returned, first of all, they believed in Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah sallam, and they were preached by Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah sallam. Now, was Hazrat Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam for only that delegation of jinns, or for all the jinns? So where did he preach Islam to the rest of the jinns? Only who came to him, and no to none else? What about the remaining of the poor jinns of the whole world? Why didn't he sometimes go to them and start preaching like he went to Taif and other places of the world? And why did he not pick up fights and quarrels with those jinns? Nowhere it is mentioned. The jinns who came to him believed in him and professed. And you know what they said when they returned? You know that? It says, the Holy Quran tells us, they said, we were so stupid. We thought there will be no prophet after the previous prophet. And here is another prophet. They were believers of Khatm Nabuwwat. You see? They thought the prophecy had come to an end. But after somebody else was made a Khatam al-Nabiyyin, Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah, the Khatam al-Nabiyyin, appeared. So they must have been human beings who believed like Hazrat Yusuf's followers did. Maybe they belong to those people. Because the Holy Quran tells us about one other people who also believed, like the present day Muslims, that prophecy of all sorts has come to an end. So when Joseph came, the Holy Quran tells us, they were against him. They said, we don't believe in you, you are a false man. They tried their best to oppose him. But when he passed away, then the same people with the same mentality of opposing prophets, they started building the view that La yabasallahu min ba'dihi ahada, or whatever it, no, I don't remember the exact words.
Something like this.
Yeah, there's something like that. So this is what the Holy Quran tells us. So these jinns must have been the followers of Hazrat Yusuf, or because we don't find any other mention of any other people declaring like this.